The Le Mans 24 Hours. Here, Audi has demonstrated its superiority for years, thanks to the diesel engine. Here, racing drivers begin to rave.
Le Mans means to me the past, the present, and the future. The past because of the famous races that I remember hearing about as I was growing up, the winners, the Dunlop Bridge, the famous Mulsanne Straight, all of these legends. The present where we are today, trying with Audi to win another Le Mans 24 Hours, to make our own piece of history. And then the future, and the future development, the technologies that are coming out of it, and the fact that this race will be here in another 80 years' time. Of that, I'm sure.
Since 2006, Audi is the driving force at Le Mans, by which the competition must be measured. During the hardest endurance race in the world, the Ingolstädters have proven their technical superiority for many years. Audi currently relies on the R18 e-tron Quattro, a winning car which still bears the genes of the R10 TDI diesel in it. At that time, the decision to drive with a diesel engine at Le Mans to compete was met with skepticism by everyone involved in this project. Whether this project could be realized at all, no one could say at this time.
The highest demand on the technology in racing is set in the Le Mans 24 Hours. And if you can be successful there with a completely new concept, such as a diesel motorized sports prototype, then you can reflect that very well in the series. And then you can take these first thoughts of the brand, namely leading with technology, in the series, and in racing, and emphasize them well.
Everyone integrated into the project gave the same answer to the question whether it could do it. And they said, I will not say that it's absolutely impossible, but it's pretty close. The biggest pain was the large engine, because for a vehicle designer, it is of course always the goal to build a car that is as light as possible with the lowest possible center of gravity. And inherent to the concept of the 12-cylinder engine is longer and larger than we were used to from the R8. Thus, the challenge was then in the total package to build a car that in sum is a compelling race car.
The journey that will lead Audi to success begins here. Here at the Quattro GmbH in Neckarsulm, from ideas comes reality. First visualizations of the new V12 TDI engine developed by CAD drawings on the computer. The technical drawings provide the basis for the production of a new high-performance engine. Air supply, power, and torque belong to the basic design of the engine, and as in this case, 12-cylinder and a fuel that brings Audi new challenges. The new engine will deliver 650 horsepower in future and have a torque of up to 1,100 Newton meters. So much power needs a very robust transmission. Even the existing test benches have to be set up for this performance by Audi. The new engine is built from hundreds of individual parts built on the basis of the CAD drawing, and this should ideally run flawlessly the first time in the optimal case. On test benches, racing conditions are simulated, thereby enabling test mechanics to test the electronics of the engine. An engine completes approximately 3,500 hours under these conditions before its longevity is proven. Here, it is decided whether this engine is going to go to the racetrack.
With the new drive technology, additionally come very specific requirements on the vehicle, which so far no one has faced. This means that the task is extremely difficult, extremely challenging, but also extrememely interesting.
At the same time at Audi in Ingolstadt, designers work on this difficult task. Their task is to design the chassis of the all-new R10 TDI. Also here, CAD drawings created first impressions of the car. In addition to optimum aerodynamics and a balanced weight distribution, vehicle safety in an accident lies in the foreground. Before a vehicle is allowed to enter the Le Mans 24 hours, data and facts must be available for the FIA, the Automotive World Federation for Accident Safety. The nose, also called the crash box, is intended to protect the driver in an accident against excessive delay. For example, reduce the impact energy as gently as possible. Only after the successful completion of crash tests can one think of a race. Now, for the first time, the entire vehicle comes on the test bench. The task? To test the conditions that exist in Le Mans on the entire vehicle and simulate the electronics and mechanics of the engine with a vibration test. The development of the Audi R10 TDI takes 24 months. 150 employees have worked hard for it. But this effort is worth it. "2006. From now on, the storybook career of Audi begins at Le Mans. The R10 TDI and the next evolution of the R15 TDI achieved a total of 4 wins in 5 years. The R15 TDI Plus today holds the record for the longest ever distance traveled in a race at 5,410 kilometers. The next generation Audi Sport is to this day unbeaten, the R18. Audi sets a record with the R18 e-tron Quattro. The vehicle is the first diesel hybrid race car that manages the victory in the history of Le Mans until 2012. One cannot imagine Le Mans without Audi.